on November 18th to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah on frontier Nagaland territory issue. Massive protest in Kuki-Zomi-dominated districts of Manipur demanding judicial inquiry into Jiribam killings. 12 bodies brought to SMCH for post-mortem yet to be transported back to Jiribam. High-intensity tri-services exercise underway in Arunachal, Purvi Prahar being conducted with an aim to bolster synergy between the three forces. And in Assam, Congress expresses hope of tough fight in 4 of the 5 by-poll seats. Things uncertain in Samaguri due to rigging, alleges party.
Evening Prime is brought to you by
Yamaha, Call of the Blue, Indian Super League, Let's Football,
and
Patanjali Dant Kanti, Full Fresh.
We start with the big update related to the NEHU stalemate. Embattled NEHU vice-chancellor Prabhashankar Shukla is going on a leave for 15 days. When contacted by Northeast Live, Professor Shukla said that he is going on a leave for personal reasons. However, speculations are rife that the NEHU VC has been sent on a leave in the wake of the ongoing inquiry to be conducted by a 2-member committee set up by the Union Education Ministry. The 2-member committee has been asked to submit its report and recommendations within 15 days' time.
सुना है आप 15 दिन का छुट्टी में गए हैं लीव में
हाँ मैं लीव पे जा रहा हूँ
सर एक क्वेरी था whether you were asked to go on leave for this inquiry or is it that on your own you are going
नहीं हमारा पहले से मेकलिस था माय फादर हेल्थ इज नॉट गुड जो है इसलिए मुझे पहले से ही जाना था ये था ठीक है
ओके कब
अब इसको चाहे जैसे लोग इंटरप्रेट करें आई एम नॉट गोइंग इन इंटरप्रिटेशन
ठीक है आप कब से लीव में जा रहे हैं सर
मैं डेफिनेटली आज वैसे 3 दिन का लीव है लेकिन आज के बाद जो लीव का रहेगा वो लीव हमारे ऊपर लागू होगा
जी सर
Well, significantly, Professor Prabhashankar Shukla also addressed the leave email to the director in the Department of Higher Education, Subrat Pradhan. Speculations are doing the rounds that Professor Shukla's leave may be increased. So what is the reaction of the NEHU Teachers Association and the NEHU Students Union to this latest development? Well, Northeast Live spoke to Vice President of NEHU Teachers Association, Professor Prasenjit Biswas. Let's listen in. Vice-Chancellor P.S. Shukla has gone on a leave. Does that change things on the ground? What will your next step be, Professor Biswas?
Professor Shukla could have done it right at the first day itself. He has delayed for 12 days and this is ridiculous on his part to say that on personal reasons he is going on leave. When the situation has gone completely out of his hand, he should have honorably exited as the student and the NEHU community wanted. This dishonorable exit, this kind of finding a leeway for himself doesn't convince anyone. And also the investigation that the ministry is supposed to initiate, the investigation has to investigate him. And during the investigation, he cannot sit in his office. No direct, indirect influence on the investigation can happen from his side. Therefore, it's better that he resigns. And if he is found to be all right, after investigation, he can always come back. Union Ministry can reappoint him. As far as students are concerned, it is utterly painful for us to see that they have fallen sick. They are undertaking with strong determination the hunger strike. This is a kind of a satyagraha. If Mahatma Gandhi would have been there, he would have called it a satyagraha. And Mahatma Gandhi clarified the concept of satyagraha. Your body breaks, but your spirit doesn't break. Your body may extinguish, but your spirit will never give in. This is a struggle with which we try to change the heart of the other side. But the heart of government has not completely changed. Unless the heart of government changes, as Mahatma Gandhi would have expected the government to do, because of this tremendous suffering that the students have taken on themselves. They have nearly sacrificed their lives. The government is still to wake up. I would appeal to the government authorities to wake up. The Ministry of Education should take the last call Why are they doing dilly-dallying on the lives of the students? So we want that this situation shouldn't aggravate, and situation must come and return to a certain sense of normalcy, a certain kind of a moral, academic and spiritual health which our students are promoting. Ministry should respond to this for the interest of wellness of students' health and for the betterment of the future of theirs and their beloved university, Northeastern Hill University.
And earlier in the day, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma visited the Northeastern Hill University campus to meet the protesting students. Chief Minister Sangma took stock of the health condition of the students. As per sources, Chief Minister Sangma assured the students to do all he can to resolve the crisis at the earliest. Talking about the visit by Chief Minister Sangma, NEHU General Secretary Toniho Karsati said that it will be difficult for students to wait for another 15 days for the two-member committee to submit its report, and hence they have requested for the Chief Minister's intervention.
Of the government forming this committee, the student union does not happily welcome this decision, as our prior demand, that is the removal of the VC, has not been fulfilled till date as well. So the coming of the Chief Minister in this university of ours in our protest, it's highly appreciable. We really appreciate, but at the same time we do not see really a kind of big change with his arrival, with his coming to this protest, to this agitation, because we have not seen any kind of assurance from his part that he will help us. However, he did say that he will try to again talk with the center to help us in giving a prompt and a favorable response towards the needs of the student. He will be sending a message. From our side also, we have requested him that he take up this matter seriously, because it's almost the 11th day of our hunger strike and students are now decreasing in number owing to them being hospitalized. So from our side, taking into consideration of the mental and physical health of the student, as well as the total lockdown that is happening in our university, we would like to reiterate our demand to the center that please take actions promptly, so that it will help to ease the pain of the university as well as of the students community and the university as a whole.
And today was the 12th day of the indefinite hunger strike at the university. And on to another big story now. 4 days after the bodies of 12 people were brought from Jiribam to the Silchar Medical College for post-mortem, they are yet to be transported back for their last rites. Sources said post-mortem was completed yesterday, but the reason behind the delay in taking back the bodies is not known. Sources said Manipur authorities had requisitioned DNA profiling of 6 of the 12 bodies. It is not clear whether they will requisition for DNA profiling of the remaining 6 bodies as well. And massive protests were staged in the Kuki-Zomi-dominated districts of Manipur, including Churachandpur, Kangpokpi and Tengnoupal today, protesting against the killing of 10 armed men in Jiribam. Thousands came out in Churachandpur today, organized by the Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights. The protest rally was held from Koite ground to the Wall of Remembrance. Protesters claimed that the 10 armed men were village volunteers and demanded judicial inquiry into the incident. And similar protests were also staged in Kangpokpi district as thousands of Kuki-Zomi men and women thronged the streets of Kangpokpi today, protesting against the Jiribam incident. The protest, spearheaded by the Kuki Women Organization for Human Rights and the Women's Wing of the Committee on Tribal Unity or KOTU, demanded justice and accountability. Protesters also chanted slogans condemning the alleged labeling of Kuki-Zo volunteers as militants. Starting from Brigadier M. Thomas ground, the demonstrators marched along National Highway No. 2, culminating at the Deputy Commissioner's office. A memorandum addressed to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah and the National Human Rights Commission was also submitted, calling for an independent inquiry and immediate intervention to ensure justice. And the Kuki Women's Union for Human Rights Tingnopal district also organized a massive public rally along with various civil bodies in More. Thousands from More and neighboring villages took part in the rally today, demanding justice for the 10 armed men killed in Jiribam. Protesters also called upon the central government to urgently investigate the incident. And meanwhile, 13 days after frontal organizations from Manipur's Senapati district had imposed restrictions on commercial vehicles heading towards capital Imphal, the agitations were temporarily suspended and restrictions were lifted today following the intervention of 2 local MLAs representing the state government. The meeting between 2 local MLAs consisting of MLA Losi Diko and MLA Kumo Shah with the district CSO leaders lasted for more than 2 hours, and an MOU was signed in the later part of the meeting. District frontal organization including NPO, SDWA and SDSA agreed to temporarily relax the restriction imposed on all commercial vehicular traffic movement based on the assurances given by the government representatives MLA Ldiko and MLA J. Kumo Shah under the conditions that the government will ensure punitive action against the perpetrators as per the law of the land and provide commensurate compensation to the victims. Immediate measures to curb collection of illegal tax, extortion and other disturbances on National Highway No. 2 will be taken up by the government. The frontal organizations warned that they will resume the restrictions in case of failure to seriously take appropriate action on the assurances. The agitations are in response to the assault of 2 Senapati youths who were also robbed in Thobal, as well as other disturbances faced by the people along National Highway No. 2. And meanwhile, a massive public rally was organized in Manipur's Ukhrul district today demanding the repeal of AFSPA, honoring the framework agreement between the centre and the NSCNIM and the reinstatement of free movement regime along Ukhrul and Kamjong districts of Manipur. The public rally was organized by the Tangkhul Shanao Long in collaboration with the Tangkhul Katam Nao Saklong.
প্ৰতি গৰাকী মাকৰ এটাই প্ৰিয় বস্তু খাদ্য কৰি তোলে পূৰ্ণৰূপে সুস্বাদু সোৱাদেৰে পূৰ্ণ কিন্তু স্বাস্থ্যকৰ পেট ভৰাই খোৱা খাদ্য মাৰ আশীৰ্বাদৰ প্ৰতি গৰাকী মাকৰে ভৰসা মাতৃ স্নেহেৰে ভৰা পতঞ্জলি বিশুদ্ধ গৰু গাখীৰৰ ঘিউ
This is my Northeast. Here, life is not that easy. That is why the people here don't give up so easily. And Star Cement was born in this very land. Star Cement, har ghar mein star.
মোৰ দেউতাই মানে কি ইনে গাঁৱতে গুনগুনাই থাকে কেতিয়াবা
And on to the big story from Nagaland. The Nagaland cabinet will discuss tomorrow the recent NSCNIM statement which threatened to resume armed struggle in order to defend what it called the unique history and sovereign existence of Nagaland. Informing this, Deputy Chief Minister T.R. Zeliang termed the statement by NSCNIM General Secretary T.H. Muiva very sensitive, even as he added that he has not personally read the statement. The meeting will be held at the Chumukedima police complex tomorrow.
Yeah, that the statement made by T.H. Muiva that we have not met him personally. we have come across only through social media and print media. So this is a very sensitive issue which reflect the people of the state, and not only Nagaland, covering all the inhabitant areas of the Naga people living in 4 states, then including Myanmar. So the issue is very sensitive and people are alarmed. So we want to discuss over this issue tomorrow in the cabinet.
Okay.
So we'll see the outcome of what we'll discuss, and we have not seen the written statement of General Secretary, this NSNIM. We'll see the paper and then we'll discuss.
And meanwhile, Chief Minister NEHU Rio along with Deputy Chief Ministers T.R. Zeliang and Y. Patan will leave for New Delhi on November 18th to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah on the proposed Frontier Nagaland Territory issue. Speaking to Northeast Live, Deputy Chief Minister T.R. Zeliang informed that the issue of tripartite talks will be discussed with the Union Home Minister.
And so far, Cabinet has already recommended. So Chief Minister, myself, and Home Minister, we are planning to go on 18th to meet the Home Minister. So after our discussion only, we'll be able to tell you what is possible, what is not possible. So I have no further comment on that.
Okay. Sir, regarding the
Coming back to Manipur, people in the Imphal Valley organized torch rallies to demand the release of the women and children suspected to have been abducted from Jiribam. Torch rallies were held in most parts of the Imphal Valley and also in parts of Jiribam. 3 women and 3 children are missing from Jiribam since November 11th, the day when 10 armed miscreants were killed in an encounter with CRPF and Manipur police.
We want justice! We want justice!
And shifting focus now, Donor Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today said that India has made remarkable progress over the last decade in uplifting its tribal communities, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi placing their welfare at the forefront of the nation's development. Addressing a program celebrating Janajatiya Gaurav Divas in Agartala today, Scindia emphasized that budgetary allocations for tribal development have seen a significant increase, rising from rupees 20,000 crores to over rupees 1.5 lakh crores. The Union Minister underscored the establishment of a dedicated tribal ministry as a testament to the government's commitment to directly engaging with tribal citizens and ensuring their welfare.
India is today rising on her cultural strength, on her historical strength and her economic strength. Our Adivasi Samaj, Janjatiya Samaj is the most important component of that. And in the last 10 years, the Prime Minister has turned the 50-year history of making sure that the tribals don't come to the fore. He has turned that history to making the tribals' situation and their development and the progress the core of India's growth imperative. Budget sanctions have grown from 20,000 crores to over 1.5 lakh crores. The PM Jana Mana Yojana, which was thought of by the Prime Minister himself after his visit to Bhagwan Birsa Munda's village, Lehatu, that scheme is 24,000 crores, focused on 12,000 villages. Almost 700 Eklavya Vidyalayas are today being put up. 1 lakh houses have been built for our Adivasi population in the last 1 year alone. And therefore, this development paradigm will continue of providing medical availabilities, education availabilities, economic capabilities to every single person across the length and breadth of our tribal regions. The very fact that the BJP has put together a tribal ministry devoted to the tribals by itself speaks of the commitment of Prime Minister Narendra Modi towards each and every tribal citizen of India. And therefore their development and their progress is at the core.
The Union Minister, accompanied by Member of Parliament Kriti Devi Singh Debarma, Rajya Sabha Member Rajiv Bhattacharjee, Tribal Welfare Minister Bikash Debarma and senior BJP leaders participated in the state-level celebration of Janajatiya Gaurav Divas. Scindia also highlighted the Vibrant Villages policy, which aims at holistic development in the Northeast, focusing on infrastructure, healthcare, education and empowering tribal communities to drive socio-economic progress in remote regions.
As far as the Northeast is concerned, we have a policy in place for vibrant villages, the first villages of our Northeast, provision of all infrastructure, telecom networks, power networks across the board, looking at saturation, whether it is water facilities, medical facilities, education facilities, and making sure that empowerment is in the hands of our tribal communities. Thank you.
Well, the event today began with a floral tribute to legendary tribal freedom fighter Birsa Munda, honouring the rich cultural heritage and historical contributions of India's tribal communities. Janajatiya Gaurav Divas is observed annually to commemorate the birth anniversary of Birsa Munda and recognize the invaluable role of tribal communities in shaping India's history. Moving on, to alleviate traffic congestion in Shillong, the government of Meghalaya is constructing mechanized multi-level car parks across the city. These projects aim to reduce on-street parking, promote pedestrian-friendly roads and address the rising demand for parking spaces. Deputy Chief Minister in charge of Urban Affairs Nob Halangdhar shared updates on the project and said the car parks will feature fully automated systems accommodating SUVs, sedans and other vehicles with a combined capacity of approximately 1400 to 1500 vehicles. While some projects are nearing completion, others are in various stages of development. The government aims to finish at least one or two projects by March 2025, marking a significant step towards improving urban mobility in Shillong.
Some of the project is yet to complete and some of them is under progress, some of them is just started. So it does not mean we will complete once at the same time, one after another. But the progress of the work is very good as of now. Maybe next month I need to visit personally and all those different projects.
How many projects total?
Actually in smart cities, all the smart city projects around 16, 17 approximately. And there is and then parking altogether, and about the parking capacity altogether it come to more or less 13 to 1400 vehicles if all the parking is complete, but in different locations. And yes, there is some parking also from the state, not from the smart city also.
But to what extent these parking lots will address the...
Obviously, it will address. It will really help us. Once all are completed, it will help us very well. Number one, there will be no parking on the road, especially within the scattered area. They can park in the right place.
And on to the big story from Sikkim. A female teacher was found dead at her rented accommodation. The deceased, identified as Sweta Rana Mangar, who was a teacher at Makha Senior Secondary School in Gangtok, was found hanging from a ceiling fan. She was a permanent resident of Gyalshing, West Sikkim. So that is a big development coming in from the Himalayan state, viewers.